Welcome to the Philippines Part 9, the difference between opinions and facts. Locally, people will say some areas are dangerous. There's reasons behind they don't go to certain parts of a town, etc., etc. A lot of it is not actually based on anything that's actually happened. It's more of an insular thing where people often like to keep to their own neighbourhoods. You'll also find within the expat community, people express opinions as facts, such as how to run a business, how to open a business. If you want to be a millionaire in the Philippines, start off as a billionaire. It's all opinions. You have to understand that the majority of people that are successful in the Philippines generally do not do ebooks, they do not do blogs, they do not do YouTube videos. The wealthy ones are quite happy to meet with like-minded people, but will not waste their time on people that are constantly complaining about everything around them and only have the opinion that everything is a failure. So as such, the people that generally do succeed, you're going to have to work to find. The rest of them will simply tell you, don't do this, don't do that. That's a waste of time, that's a waste of money, that's a waste of effort, etc., etc. But I always say to the people, is that based on opinion or fact? When did you do this business? What is your experience? And 9 times out of 10, it will come, third party at best. Otherwise, it's like, I heard, which is even worse. They don't know at all. It's just they've expressed opinion, but now that you've asked where they found their information, they backtrack completely and try to wriggle out of it by saying, I heard on a forum, I heard on the internet, blah, blah, blah. No facts whatsoever. In fact, there probably wasn't any contact on the internet at all. It is purely opinion. Now, can businesses be successful in the Philippines? Of course they can. Many people have done well there, but you will struggle to find a lot of these people. Like I said, most of the people that are successful have already gone through having people tell them how nothing will work, etc., etc. So simply don't bother wasting their time with them. This is why you need to separate opinions from facts, because quite simply it goes into everything. Relationships, for example. You will have people's opinions about how you should safeguard yourself against your partner. You will have people's opinions about how all Filipinos are scammers, etc., etc. It's not based on facts. The fact is they may have had a bad relationship. The fact is they may have been cheating on their partner and then she's took revenge on them. At no point would they actually turn around and tell you, oh yeah, it's my own fault, which is the reality. That is the fact. I know more people that are happily married than aren't. I will also say that I've known over the period of time in the Philippines more deaths than I have in the United Kingdom. In 20 years, I've known maybe 5 people die in the UK. In the Philippines, within 3 years, it was about 18. You have to bear in mind, though, a lot of these people are already elderly when they went to the Philippines. A lot of them were already in ill health. A lot of them were aware they had about 10 years mileage left in them before their batteries ran out. They already accepted that the end of the road was coming and they were going to enjoy life while they could. So although that figure is quite high, there is also the fact that a lot of people had expectations that they weren't going to be around forever anyway. So bear that in mind. This is why I say about leaving things behind. It's important that it's got to be something that's viable. The big house is often a waste of money because it's impossible for the spouse to maintain it financially. They don't need that space. They cannot afford that space. That's why I often turn around and say it's better off with smaller units. Fact, it's easy to rent 2 to 3 bedroom places compared to a 5-bedroom house. Fact, there's a lot more people looking for smaller places all the time, even right down to a bed spacer. A bed spacer is basically bunk beds in a room where you may actually share the room with maybe 4 or 5 people, because that's how much their budget will stretch to. That is a fact. So there is a lot of opportunities there to actually help your partner if you are going to go on your final journey, which is why I always say, if you're going to leave something behind, it's much better to look at the local market and where you can actually assist, rather than spending a lot of money on a large property or even an expensive property, because expensive properties are easy to buy but difficult to sell. They keep building them. That's the reality. It's like here in Spain is also the same. The new developments continue, yet the country is full of empty rentals, empty properties from the property boom that existed prior to the recession. There is a huge empty population of houses all along the coast, because a lot of them are abandoned by Brits, a lot of them are owned by the banks. But the banks want new money, so they'll lend you new money into a new house, but they won't dump the old houses at the real values of them, because the fact is they've got too much debt on them. The bank loaned more than the house was worth in the first place. That's why they want you to buy new ones. Sounds crazy, but it's reality. So bear in mind, opinions and fact are very different. When people approach you with an opinion, ask them where they got their facts from. That way it cuts it straight to the chase, and they'll go, I heard from, or they'll go, well, I did try running a taxi firm. For example, there's a expat I know that had 5 taxis. His major problem was that they were stealing parts, etc. Fact, to do these types of businesses, you've got to be hands-on. You cannot leave anybody else to run it. Another friend of mine runs jeepneys. He uses nail varnish on all the parts on the vehicles, because he knows which parts are his. Everything's numbered, everything's catalogued, and he knows if anything goes missing. That's how on the ball you have to be, because people will steal batteries, they will steal tyres, they will steal whatever isn't nailed down. It is normal, unfortunately. That is a fact. Thanks for listening.